Okay, so let's go on with this. So when we make a Google Doc, whenever you're doing a paper, what I want you to do is do exactly what I'm showing you to do right now. So you create the paper, and you go create, and you go document. And then I want you to name it right away. And the way I want you to name the document is, I want you to name it as O2 for your class, dash your name, and dash something about the document. So this one's a PC boot process. And I'm going to start putting what I want you to name it in the assignment itself. So this one I want you to name it PC boot process. So that if I wanted to find all the papers that people submitted on the PC boot process, I could type in boot process in my search. If I wanted to find everything that Emma wrote, I could just type in Rogers in there. If I wanted to find everything from Orange 2, I could just put O2. Okay, makes sense? Make it easier for me to find. So before you even start writing, when you're just getting ready to start writing, this is when you can do all of this, and then you don't have to do it again. So I say, okay, I still haven't written anything, and I'm immediately going to go ahead and share the document and put the document into Moodle like I want you to. Okay? So you hit share. You can leave it as edit, or you can change it to comment. I don't care. You just can't change it to view. I have to be able to comment on your document. And you might say, why, Mr. Poole? You're just going to grade it. Because in the case of Mr. Harris here, he did his early, and he did it on a Google Doc. And I just happened to be sitting on my laptop, and it popped up that he had shared the document. So I read it. I gave him some comments. He made the changes, and he improved his essay. Okay? Because if I can give you comments before it's due, and you fix those things, then you have a better paper. And I'm not, if I give you comments before it's due, I'm not doing it to take off points. I'm doing it to say, hey, you only have one thing cited in your MLA. You had 3 things to refer to. You should have 3 things in your works cited, which is a true statement. There's 3 books that each is usually referred to as a minimum. You should have in your works cited. Okay? So you're going to put in my email address. So if you just type in bpool, you should come up. If I wanted to do, let's see, 17? No, 17. I typed 16. You know I said 17. Why is it?
You already have mine under emails.
You're the first time that I did it, I had to type the whole thing. And then once
it's in there, it's there forever. Okay, so my point is, this is not it. I don't just hit send and I'm done. Because then you have not done a paper yet, okay? You have to get the shareable link while you're here and copy that. Okay, so I just copied it into the buffer, and now I can hit send over here because I need that thing in the buffer. Then down here, when you're working on your paper, you go to the bottom, hit edit my submission, and then you have to do 2 things. You have to paste that in there. Then you have to highlight it, link it, paste it again right there where it says URL. And I want you to change the target to new window. Okay, that's what I want you to do. And now when you hit save, when I'm grading this assignment, I now have a clickable link that will take me straight to your Google Doc. So I don't have to go and search for it. I don't know why that's taking so long. Because it should have just popped right up there. And I'll show you, I'll just go to the other one to show you what I'm talking about. Google is doing something. What is Google doing? Start this again. That's when I come to grade stuff like this assignment here that you guys already did. I can just go and say the orange 1 group, and I go plunk, and it opens right up. Click on it, opens the paper. And go to the next student. So when I'm going to grade, they're all put in one place for me. Now, I realize they're all on my drive, but you also have to remember my drive is full of stuff from years of people sharing stuff with me. So if you just go and write BIOS paper, I will never, ever find your paper. Okay? So, the advantages again of this are the fact that I'm going to go to Mr. Harris' paper because I put some comments on there and he resolved them. So when I came here, he, for instance, didn't have this at the top. Okay? So I highlighted it and I went insert comment and I put, you need to remember that your last name and page number goes to the top of the page. Okay? Now when he sees that comment, that he can then go and highlight over it and say resolve. He can also reply to it and say I fixed this, but let's say he goes in, which he did, okay? So he forgot to put that on there and I just highlighted that and made a comment there. So he changed it and he hit resolve. And when he hits resolve, that comment just goes away, okay? And so I know, and by the way, I automatically got an email. So when we were doing that the other day, there we go. I got the thing that he invited me to edit. I'm trying to find where it said the things were resolved. There we go. Okay, so he went through, and I think it's, where's one? I got an email that said resolved. Okay, so we went through here, and I can see the comment that I left for him, and he had resolved it. Comment I left for him, and he had resolved it. It's really nice, okay? And when you're doing that, and it gives me to do that for you, then obviously you're going to end up with a better paper because I'll be able to give you some inputs along the way, okay? So I would say what I'd like you guys to do is to start it early when the paper's blank, and then just write your paper. And I might watch what you're writing. I'm not sitting there watching all the time. I have a lot of things to do. But if you email me and say my paper's done, would you look over it? You know, it's not due till the following class. And if I go and pop in there and look at it and see some obvious things, his were not big. He just didn't indent the new paragraphs on there. And then the other thing that I just said in class is he has one works cited on there because he felt like that was the thing he used the most. But if I gave you 3 things, even if you didn't refer to those other wings, you should have them in your works cited. So I want to go on and talk a little bit about that as well. So MLA in general. The reason we're doing papers is to support English and support writing in general. You guys don't do a ton of writing in here, but I do have you do several MLA essays that you basically are giving me formative feedback so I know you understand that thing that we went on. Okay, so it kind of hits 2 things. Number 1, it lets me know that Max understands that. And number 2, it supports the English department to make sure you guys know how to do an essay, how to do MLA formatting. If you go down here on the left-hand side of our course and it says Technology Resources right here, no one's looking. Right here it says Technology Resources. If you ever click on that, it takes you to another site that I have that has a bunch of writing resources, including videos on how to use EasyBib, sample MLA paper. So if you're like, I don't remember how that goes, you can go here and look at it so that you know, okay, this is set up right. Here's a sample MLA paper and how works cited works and stuff. Okay. That's what those things are there for you. Close these things. The other thing is that I wanted to go over is how to get and how to do EasyBib all the way. I know everybody knows how to cut and paste a website into EasyBib. Yes, but that's not what I'm talking about. Almost everybody knows how to post a website into EasyBib and to get out one thing, but I don't know how many people know how to make a whole paper and to get the whole works cited done for them alphabetically with the correct indent and stuff. So we're going to go to EasyBib. If you don't know, if you're in any Google Doc, and I go right here to the little Google Doc launcher, the apps launcher, if I click on that and I go more, and I scroll down, I go to EasyBib right here. And if I click on that EasyBib, it opens up EasyBib logged in as me in my account. Okay? As long as I launched it from being logged into any Google app. So you guys are used to just plopping stuff down in here. Okay? I will tell you that is not a good idea when you're doing any kind of a research thing that has more than one item. Here's the way I think you should do it. It's just one more step involved, okay? So I'm going to go down here. I am not logged out. Oh, no, right here. I'm going to go to My Projects. Now, I already made one. In fact, I'm going to delete this project so we can start all over. Yes, okay? So what you do is you click New Project, and you name the project PC, whatever you want to name it. Only you are going to see these things, okay? So if you guys can watch me not do it while I'm talking so that I know that you've seen what I'm doing. So you name it here. You don't have to choose a subject. If you want to do, you can. Okay? So now I have a new project called PC Boot Essay, and I'm going to make a bibliography for it. Okay? So I click on bibliography, and now I'm at the spot that it looks like I've always been. Okay? So I'm going to go here and get my 3 websites that I think you should use. Is this a website that I should use that there's information for me? What? Yes. You got how many videos? How much video did you watch? Like 30 minutes, 20 minutes of videos. Okay, plus there's a bunch of information. So this isn't just an assignment, it's also information. If it had just been the assignment, if there had been no videos on it at all, you would not cite this. But as it was, there is a bunch of information on here. So I'm going to go ahead and use this as my number 1 one. Okay, so I'm going to go back over here to sets. I'm going to go to EasyBib. I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to say cite. I'm going to continue. Who's the author of that one?
I guess you just go to the.
No, it's me. That was me. I typed that up 100%, right?
I think it's the videos.
Okay. So, and then I'm going to say create citation. Then I'm going to go to my next one, which is this one. Now, we know I didn't do this one, but I've already got the works cited down here, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to copy that, put that in EasyBib. And again, we should be saying that I want the display URL. Once you do that once for your account, it'll leave it checked. So, create citation. And then I'm going to go to the last one here, which is next article. And again, I did that before you, but all you have to do is grab the address right there. That's why I left that on there for you. Create citation. Continue. Now, I've got, oh, I didn't put it in. There we go, create citation. Now I've got all 3 of my things, okay? So I can go back to my projects. And I can go to bibliography, and one of the objects right here is to export. So if I go to export and say print as Word doc, I'm not actually going to print it. I say download for MS Word. I'm going to let it go ahead and open it, and it's formatted, alphabetical, everything I need for my works cited sheet. I can just copy and paste that right into my essay. Should I close my essay? I close my essay. Dagnabbit. How would I do? Right there. Oh, different one. That was the one. And I can go down here and say Control V, and I'm going to insert a page breaker in the front. So now I know my works cited is done. I can start my paper up here, and I know that's done correctly. Now, what I really do when I'm doing a research paper is that as I'm going, every time I go to a new page, I go and just drop it into EasyBib in that thing. And at the end, I go and just pull it up. It's all alphabetized. It's all formatted correctly. There's nothing I can do wrong. I would highly recommend doing it. And if a year from now you want to go back and look at what did I use for that paper, you don't even have to find the paper. All I have to do is go back into EasyBib, and I can look at every paper I've ever done. If I go back to my projects, now obviously all these are examples that we've done, okay? So, but I could go back and look at this project and say, are all the things I used for that paper. Okay? So I would highly recommend doing it that way when you're writing your paper. Does everybody know how to get this up here? I got one head shake, so I'll do it on this one. Okay? So I go insert, and I go to header. Okay? So I'm up at the header, doesn't matter which page I'm on. So I'm going to type cool. I'm going to make it right oriented. So over there. Put a space in there, and then I'm going to insert page number on the top of the page. Okay, so now every single one of my pages has pool and the page number up at the top. That's it. Okay, when I'm writing my paper, by default, it doesn't do double spacing, right?
Not right off the bat, but you can choose.
So I can go down through here and start my paper. Okay, so if I highlight what I've got, process, I can, we got move 5. Okay, so I can highlight what I want to double space. I highlight it. I go to format. I go to line spacing, and I switch it to double. And now, as I type my paper, I'll be double spaced from here on out. Okay. And yes, I expect you to tab in new paragraphs. Okay. And like I said, there's no with this one. There's no minimum size. Although sometimes I do say 500-word essay. And when I say 500-word essay, that means minimum. If you write 490 words, I do not grade. Okay? Because when it does a page count, it's counting all that, it's counting all this, it's counting that we're excited. You can't get to 500 words with all that already counted. I mean, how many am I at right now? I can't remember the word count tool. So I'm already at 71 words and I've typed nothing. Right? 71 words and I have nothing. So really when I say 500 words, I'm not really asking for 500 words. Okay, so that's how I want you to make your submissions. Any questions on that? Okay, so this paper's done. I'm not going to grade it today. So if you've got, I will probably look at them and give you some comments and not grade it until tomorrow if I get a chance today. So if I have anything, but you should have 3 things in your works cited, so you have. I'm going to give you a chance to fix that, but not right now. You can do that during intervention if you want. Whenever you're doing a paper, you can't have too much on your works cited. If you go and refer to an article for 5 minutes and decide this doesn't support my information, I'd still put it in your works cited. Because the more things you have in your works cited, the more you show that you did research. Even if you don't include that in the paper, it's still okay if you read it. And it's related at all to what you did. It makes you seem like a more informed writer when you do that. Okay, so what are we going to do right now? The next assignment that we're going to do, which has today's date on it, but it's not today. In fact, I'll go ahead and switch it to October. What's Friday? Thursday, 2 October. Yeah, that's what we're Thursday. This is what's stuck again. Because I'm going to give you time in class to actually write this one in class. And we're going to watch these videos and stuff while we're doing what we're doing today. So this essay is on your thoughts and your comparison between Windows 7 and Ubuntu. Right now, over in the other room, I'm actually making new copies of Ubuntu for everybody to give to you to keep through the end of Chapter 2. So you will have your Windows 7 drive on a solid-state drive, and you will have a Ubuntu drive on a solid-state drive. And the reason I wanted to give you a solid-state drive for them is so you have a one-to-one comparison. If I give you a crappy hard drive to compare Ubuntu, it's never going to be a good comparison. Okay. Plus, I did the install, and I made sure Flash was installed and everything else so that I know that what you need is on there. So that's what I'm doing over there. So right now, you guys need to shut down your PCs. What we're going to do is we're all going to get a new PC, and we're going to install Windows 7 today. You guys installed Ubuntu last time, so this time you're going to do a Windows 7 install, and then while it's installing, we're going to do some reading and watch the videos that are associated with the paper so that you're that far ahead, and then on Thursday, I'm just going to give you some time in class to start the paper.
So
Okay?
you're reading a new PC or just starting?